My name is John DeVries, and I'm the founder of an organization called Mission India, but also the author of this book, Why Pray? A book that your congregation is going to be studying. You'll be studying it as families, as individuals over the next 6 weeks. And I want to share just a little bit about how this book came to be and what happened through it and what can happen in your congregation. I began this prayer journey in the last church I served as pastor. My wife and I challenged the congregation to join us in prayer every single morning, 7 days a week at 7 o'clock. We were kind of blown out of the water when 56 people showed up the first morning. That drifted down, but every single day as we prayed, we saw more and more answers until finally, a few months into the whole experiment on prayer, we had a week in which I identified 49 answers to prayer. And you know what happened? God turned the water off and everything went south. He no longer answered prayer. We prayed for people that were sick and they died. We prayed for people that were fighting in their marriage and they got divorced. I had one guy come up to me and say, "Man, you couldn't get me to go to that prayer meeting for anything. Everything you touch goes south." And then I had a fellow take me out for lunch, one of the businessmen of the church, and he said, "John, does it really pay to pray? You guys are coming there at 7 every morning and it doesn't seem like it's working." How would you answer that? I was flabbergasted. I didn't know how to answer it. It was only a few years later that as I reflected on this experiment, that I gradually got to understand what I should have said to Bob when he asked me, "Does it pay to pray?" I should have said to him, "Does it pay to talk to your wife?" Every time you talk to your wife for 5-10 minutes, do you keep a wife journal, Bob, in which you write down all the answers that you get out of her and the reasons why it pays to talk to your wife? You know, if you don't talk to her, you're not going to wind up with a marriage very long. We don't pray in order to get answers. The essence of prayer is not words, it's a relationship. The Apostle Paul says that. Pray continuously. How can you pray continuously if prayer is merely words? And so in the opening week of your meditation, I outlined for you 7 different ways in which we pray. Many of them without words. Prayer is a position of dependency. It's a whole host of things. And I hope your prayer life will be transformed in this first week of praying and finding out what prayer is really all about.